Laura.
And I'm Zach.
And we're from the suburbs of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania in the United States. And we decided to book through Access Nepal because all the reviews online were great. It was the best place we could find. Yeah, initially we were just deciding on planning on doing a trek through them. We had gotten engaged in April, and then we eventually decided that we wanted this experience, that we wanted to get married here in Nepal. We talked through our options with Sadhana at Access Nepal, and then came to the conclusion that we wanted to do a typical Nepali-style Hindu wedding here in Nepal, in Kathmandu.
I was Googling around one day and had come across some great reviews from Access Nepal.
We have about another 3 days of trekking to go with the Access Nepal trek. I'd recommend Access Nepal. They've done a very good job. They've been very professional, but friendly as well, and had a lot of flexibility in what we can do. My guide and porter, Subha and Netra, have been great throughout the whole trip, and very much I would recommend going with them. I've had a lovely time.
And we had reached out and asked about some of the different trekking packages that they had to offer. And we ended up choosing the helicopter tour package. It's a 11-day package where we flew into Nepal and Kathmandu, and we had a welcome day where we had dinner with our guide and we had introductions to the team. We tried one of the local cuisines called Daobat, and then we made sure that we went back to the hotel and got some good rest to begin our first trekking day, starting out in Lukla. From Lukla, we then trekked through several of the towns along the trekking path that allowed us to slowly acclimatize through 5 or 6 days prior to getting to altitude that was closer to base camp. There were many great sights that we got to see and many great memories that we got to make along the way. The trek itself, I believe, created bonds that will last our lifetime and memories that will last our lifetime. And I found it a very great personal growth experience. Just the balance of the beauty of the mountains mixed with the little bit of a challenge of trekking between the towns really allowed me to learn a lot about myself. After the trek, we did a little bit of a Christian traditional style ring ceremony in front of Mount Kamala. The backdrop was just amazing, where you got a great view of the summit of Mount Kamala at the very top, and then we also got to see some of the glacier lake that's down in the valley and creates the Milk River that you follow along your Everspace camp trek
So we hiked to the spot where we were at, and to make it a surprise, our guide and the local kids, they like ran it to us because we were kind of on a timeline. So they ran it to us, and like one of my favorite like memories of the whole trip was seeing the town kid's face. He was just like so happy, and it was just like we couldn't speak the same language, but just seeing his smile, it made it just like feel so personable. And then we got to like share our wedding cake with everyone there, and it made it such a special experience.
After we had a ring ceremony, we then caught a helicopter back to Lukla, and then from Lukla we then got a helicopter back to Kathmandu. Once we were back in Kathmandu, we then began our Hindu ceremony.
Yeah, so after getting ready for like hours, which I'm not used to, like beautifying and just feeling and looking great, we did a Mehendi ceremony, which we have some remnants of yet. And yeah, the whole team came together just to celebrate, and they became like our family.
Music was playing, and myself and all the groomsmen waited in the hallway until the time was just right, where I then went in with a bouquet of flowers and danced for Laura, and then provided that bouquet of flowers for her. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just celebrated and danced and enjoyed the time and finished up putting up on the Mehendi.
Eat food together.
And Zach really showed off his dance moves.
So after the Mehendi ceremony, we then all went to bed because we knew that we had a big day ahead of us the next day, where we actually did the ceremony at the temple. Once she was ready, we then all showed up to the temple, and the temple had quite a few stairs, about halfway up the stairs. Then I finally got to see Laura for the first time and all her beauty.
Yeah, and then we finally began to commence with the ceremony. And for us, I don't think there was any way to prepare. We were just kind of like fully immersed and just like following everyone's directions, because it was like crazy but beautiful. It was just so much going on, but it was so different than what we're used to, which we loved. We started by going around the ring of fire or what have you.
We performed quite a few rituals where we prayed to different gods in the Hinduism religion. We also prayed to the mountains of Nepal, which I think that was my favorite part of the ceremony.
And we also have new brothers and sisters that like gratefully stepped up into that role, because it was just the two of us. But now we have another family, a Nepali family. And now we have new brothers and sisters that my favorite part of the ceremony was when my new brother picked me up and Zach's new brother picked him up. And like we're just running around.
Running around the fire.
Yeah.
And I also really enjoyed a lot of the like symbolism and stuff within the rituals. At one point, I took a powder and ran the powder up a ribbon up to Laura's head, and I was to not disconnect the powder, I believe, to represent a nice long life together. One of the parts of the ceremony was right before Laura and I had circled the fire once. One of the bridesmaids took my shoes, and just for fun had kept my shoes for the rest of the ceremony until I had offered money to get my shoes back. So that was very interesting. At the very end, we then had a dinner where we all ate together, joined, exchanged words. And
yeah, there were a lot of little details that we enjoyed. Like the team at Access Nepal went above and beyond with all the little details that like I wouldn't even have thought of. Like even when like Zach was bringing me, in America we call it like over the threshold, like coming into the room, like the room was filled with balloons and flowers. And I love the way they say here, happy married life. Like we don't have that in the US, and I just love the way that the Nepalis say that. That is like one of my favorite things that I will take away from this trip, is that happy married life. And we went to Nagarkot for our honeymoon, and we went to a place called Club Himalaya, and they upgraded our room where we had like a cabana overlooking the mountains, and even there was balloons and flowers and a bottle of wine, and we got to just relax, which I didn't realize how strenuous our vacation was in a great way, like how much energy it was, until we like kind of relaxed for 2 days straight, which was amazing. The food was very good and great service, as in everywhere here in Nepal. And then we returned here to Kathmandu, and we had our farewell dinner, which Everything has been so bittersweet here towards the end. It's just been like saying goodbye to people that we got so close with in this crazy scenario. So it's so bittersweet to like say goodbye to everybody.
Say goodbye to our guide. Say goodbye to Sedona, who we had worked with for 9 months to plan this this trip
An experience.
We really appreciate all of the small details that both her, the guide, the rest of the team.
We're so thankful for the group at Access Nepal for putting this all together, and just like we definitely decided what we wanted to do, but they ran with it. Like they made sure all the little details were taken care of, and for me, like to have a wedding and have to plan all of the craziness is so stressful. So to have a wedding where I'm not stressed and just can actually enjoy it was just amazing, and just be able to breathe. We left here with a bunch of people that we met as like strangers, but like are now our Nepali family.
And we would also like to thank you, the viewers, for taking your time out of your day to watch this video.
We definitely think that if you want to do a wedding here in Nepal, like to definitely do it, and especially through Access Nepal, because like they actually care. They're not like a trekking guide that doesn't care about what happens. They care about you. Like they want to see you enjoy your time and not just try to skimp on anything. They want you to enjoy those little things.
Everything seemed very personalized and to par, and more. more than what we ever even expected.
Yeah. So if you want to do a wedding here in Nepal, I would say do it, because you can pick exactly what you want and they will make it happen.
And one last word, thank you, Access Nepal, for all of your hard work, all the efforts that you put into this entire trek, the wedding ceremony, and even the small things in between that allowed us to create these bonds and feel warm and welcomed in the most genuine way that we could even ever imagine.
Yeah. We're very grateful for the team at Access Nepal and all the hard work that they did.
For myself personally, kind of breaking out of my little eggshell and dancing in front of groups of people, that's not something I typically do, but I really enjoyed getting to crack that egg a little bit.
And just being able to completely just learn new dance moves and just like let go and just be able to fully immerse ourselves in the environment.